Hey guys, today we're going to be comparing the Ecoflow Delta 2, which has been the leading power station for the last couple of years on the market, versus the brand new DJI Power 1000 V2 to see which one is better value for money. Alright, let's take a look. Now, being completely transparent and honest straight up in the video, I want to let you know that the DJI Power 1000 V2 was sent to me by DJI, but they have zero influence on my opinion of the product, and it will be a 100% honest review. The reason I'm comparing these two products in particular against each other is because they're both the same price point in the market and they're at an affordable price point at $1,200 each. Now, they both have the same capacity as well at 1024 watt hours or around 85 amp hours at 12 volt. So plenty of power for someone to go away on a weekend, enjoy a camping trip, and to run all the devices they need for camping. There is a slight difference in the weight of the two power stations. Now, the Ecoflow Delta 2 comes in at just 12 kilos, while the DJI power station comes in at 14.2 kilos. But honestly, they both come with grab handles, and I find them both very easy to carry with just one hand. They're not that heavy at all, and still easily fit in any setup. Both power stations are made to be durable to handle the outdoor environments. The DJI can handle a 1-ton static load. It's built extremely tough, and there's a new potting process inside, protecting the inverter from rain, condensation, or salty spray, enabling the inverter to be used safely in any conditions. Both units also have expandable batteries, meaning you can plug in additional batteries to each unit to expand the capacity of the unit, but the DJI unit is capable of over 11 kilowatts. That's enough to run a household. Both units also have bright digital displays on the front of the units, both very easy to read, although the glass is very reflective of all surfaces, so if that was just a little bit non-reflective, it would have been much easier to see outdoors. But that's just one little thing. They both also come with apps on your phone, so you can monitor all the loads on your phone with the inputs and outputs, so you know exactly how much is left in the battery and also how fast the battery is charging. Both units have built-in inverters. The Delta 2 has 4 240 volt plugs, while the DJI Power 1000 V2 has 2. But the DJI runs a 2600 watt inverter, and the Ecoflow is a 2400. Now, that extra 200 watts really can matter, especially when you're running multiple devices at once. I would rather have a higher output inverter than have 4 extra plugs. So even though you are limited to just 2 plugs on the DJI, I'd rather have just the 2 than the 4 and have that higher output. I'll plug my induction cooker in soon and we'll test both units. Having the grab handles on both units not only makes it easier to carry, but also gives you tie down points too. If you wanted to permanently mount one of these in your car, you can easily strap this down and it won't move anywhere. The DJI has everything on the front face. There is no other plugs on any other surface. Everything you need is accessible by the front. Whereas the Delta, 3 sides have something. So you got 240 volt on the back. On the side you have your expandable battery port. On the front you have your USBs and display, meaning it's really hard to try and mount this in your car permanently and still access both sides. So for ease of use in a car, this one is much better. Something else I noticed, the cooling vents on the side, the fans. The DJI, they are on both sides here, meaning if you mounted this up against a hard surface here, you're still going to get full ventilation. Whereas the Ecoflow, the vents are at that side and that side. So if you're mounting it against a surface, you're actually blocking one of the vents, preventing proper airflow. Taking a look at the Delta 2's USB ports, you've got 2 traditional USB-A's, 2 fast charging USBs. You've also got 2 100 watt USB chargers as well. Now, even though it seems there are more USB options on this device, there are limitations. The DJI does have 2 less USB ports. You've got 2 24 watt max USB ports. There's also 2 140 watt USB ports, whereas you're limited to 100 watts on the Delta 2. And the extra 40 watts can really make a difference. DJI have been a leader in the drone and camera industry for many years, which is why I was so excited to get this product. I know and trust DJI products. I've used their drones and cameras for years, and that's all I run. So when they entered the power station market, they didn't want to just copy everyone else and make the same generic power stations that everyone else copies. They wanted to rethink and redesign how we power our devices. So they didn't want to limit it to just a USB port and USB-C. Those ports are great, but they knew they could do better. They have designed these SDC ports. Now, it comes out with 2 of these. There's multiple different plugs available. Now, I have one here. You can plug into your cigarette lighter in your car, and you can actually charge the unit from the cigarette plug. But there's multiple different cables available, one including my drone. If I plug my DJI drone in with an SDC cable, I can charge my batteries in just 30 minutes. Now, that's a game changer for anyone with DJI drones. The advantage of the SDC cables is it can vary the voltage and wattage that it needs per device. So it communicates through the cable how many watts and how many volts it needs for that device, rather than just your traditional ports. The cigarette plug SDC cable will charge at 100 watts in your car, so So it will take a considerable time, but if you want to mount this in your car permanently, I wouldn't run this cable. They do have a super fast charger available for your car, which will charge at 1 kilowatt. It only takes 78 minutes to charge from 0 to 100%. There's also a 1.8 kilowatt option available, which will charge 1200 watts from solar and 600 watts from your vehicle, and only take 40 minutes from 0 to 100% to fully charge this unit. So it's a great option to permanently mount this in your car without having to pay someone to do a full 12 volt install. There is also alternator chargers available for the Delta 2. They have a 500 and 800 watt charger that you can charge this directly from your car. Both these units accept a solar input, which means you can use these units off-grid for much longer. The Delta 2 can accept up to 500 watts of solar, whereas DJI can accept between 400 to 800 with an MPPT solar regulator. The Delta's solar input is just at the back here, and the solar input on the DJI is the SEC port. Both units come with the same 240 volt charging plugs. Now the DJI plugs in just at the front there, and the Delta 2 plugs in next to the solar input there. We'll do some load tests in a minute, drain the batteries, they're both at 100% at the moment, and also plug them in, and we can see how fast they charge, and also compare how loud both units are at charging, because that's a big factor when you're outdoors. If you're charging either unit through 240 volts, the Delta 2 can handle 1200 watts input, whereas the DJI can handle 1440 watts. Meaning the Delta 2 can go from 0% to 80% in just 50 minutes, whereas the DJI can go from 0% to 80 in just 37 minutes. This is a 1024 watt hour battery, 37 minutes. The Delta 2 will charge from 0 to 100% in 80 minutes, whereas the DJI will go from 0 to 100 in just 56 minutes. That's less than an hour from 0 to 100%. The Delta 2 has a life cycle of 3,000 cycles, meaning you can recharge this unit 3,000 times before it needs replacing, whereas the DJI can handle 4,000 cycles, meaning it should last you up to 10 years. So for $1,200, both these units are great value. I've plugged in my induction cooker to the Delta 2. Now we're just going to boil a pot of water. Now I'm going to do that for 5 minutes. We'll compare how much percentage of the battery that one's drained, and then I'll tip the water out, get a fresh pot of water, do another 5 minutes, and we'll see how much the battery's drained in the DJI. All right, so I'll set it to, we'll go 2000, push start, give that 5 minutes. We'll see how much that's draining first. That's currently pulling 1313 watts. It's worth noting, just because your induction cooker says 2000, 1200, 1400, doesn't mean that's how many watts you're actually drawing from the unit. As you can see, that says 2000, we're only drawing 1313. While that's going, I'll just hold the microphone next to it so you can actually hear how loud it is while it's running. That's acceptable. It's got the same volume as the induction cooker. That's 5 minutes. Let's see how much battery percentage we have left. Okay, we're down to 86%. That water is also boiled. So I'll tip that out now, put fresh water in. We'll start again on the DJI. All right, we'll start it again, go back to 2000. Push start, for another 5 minutes. They both have the same battery capacity, so we should end up with the exact same result. While that's going, I'll go over this side here. That is silent. I can't hear anything at all. All I hear is the induction cooker. That's a massive difference. This is so much quieter. I honestly can't hear that. It's worth noting the Delta 2 was only drawing 1313 watts boiling the same water, whereas the DJI, it's saying it's drawing 1440. So I'm not sure why it's saying there's a variance. We're running the exact same temperature. So we'll see what the battery percentage ends up at the end. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. All right, let's compare the percentages. The DJI, 84% and 86%. Like I said, there was an extra 100 watts being drawn out of that one. I'm not sure why. We had the exact same test running. I'll try and find a device we can plug in that doesn't make a fan noise so we can compare both noises side by side. I've got the Delta 2 plugged into the microwave. I'll run the microwave for a minute and we'll just see what the noise is like from that. We won't have the induction cooker there with the fan going there, so all the noise you'll hear will be coming directly from the Delta. We've got 1 minute there. Cranked up. Now we're on the same test again on the DJI. 1 minute again. There's nothing. No noise at all. I cannot get over that difference. Now we'll do a charging comparison. We'll charge them both and we'll see which one's louder. The Delta 2 is charging now. We have 1189 watts going in. Let's check the volume. You would not want this charging nighttime at camp if you're in a caravan park or something. Now this unit was great in its prime, but technology has got so much better since this was released. I'll swap the charger cable over now to the DJI and we'll compare the noise of the DJI charging. The Delta 2 is accepting 1190 watts of power at the moment, so that's charging pretty quick. And it says it takes 17 minutes to fully charge. It's 88% at the moment. We'll test the DJI now. The DJI is plugged in now. Now the DJI has two charging modes. There's a quiet mode, which charges at a lower wattage, and a fast charging mode, which is a lot louder. So, again, that is silent. This is on the normal charging mode, which is charging at 620 watts. And there's nothing. Let's switch it over now to the fast charging, so we can match that. Fan should kick in soon. It's charging at 1440 watts, so we're already beating that one at charging. There's still nothing. At the moment we're at 83%, and it says it will take 7 minutes to fully charge. So half the time of that one. Now if I go over to my car, I can actually see how many amps are coming out of my batteries to charge these. So 59 amps at the moment are currently drawing out of my batteries to charge these devices. Now that doesn't include my fridge and everything else, so probably I'd say 55 amps it's using to charge these. I just wanted to show an example here. I've plugged in my drone batteries just to the USB-C port. Now that's currently charging at 40 watts. If I was to use the SDC port, that would charge in just 30 minutes. It communicates much better with the drone batteries themselves through that SDC cable, and it knows exactly how many watts and voltage this can accept and send the maximum wattage and volts to charge this as quick as possible. Whereas all these other ports are limited to the port itself, and it can't regulate that voltage like the SDC port can. We'll plug in a few more devices at the moment just to see sort of how much draw you get. So this is the DJI Mic 2s. That's charging now. That didn't use much more, we're only at 41. All right, we'll plug in the controller just through a normal USB port. That's charging, and we're up to 50 to 52 now. We'll plug the exact same devices into there and see if we get the same reading. Let's see what the draw is on this one. Turn on the output. That's one thing on this one here. For the AC, the 240 volt, you have to turn on the output, whereas the DC, the 12 volt, you don't have to turn on the output. It will start sending charge straight away. Currently we're drawing 23 watts. So it's interesting. The exact same devices. Yeah, that's flashing, and that's flashing. They're all charging, and yet both devices have different outputs. One thing I forgot to mention about the DJI, it has 19 internal temperature sensors that monitor in real time, and 25 built-in fuses that handle any abnormalities with the internal BMS. Another great feature with both of these units, not only can you use these outdoors or on the road in your car, they're great for home use. If you ever have a blackout at your house, this is a great backup alternative. You can still run your fridge or freezer so none of your food goes off. You can keep your laptop computers plugged in all the time, and within 1/10 of a second this will switch over so that your devices will continue to run even in a blackout. Another thing, if you combine these units with solar at home, you can plug in your big drawing items, your fridge, your washing machine, dryer, into these, run them off of these full time, and you can run solar outside your house, meaning you're not paying power for those big ticket items in your house. You're running those items free of charge all year round. So your power bill is going to be dramatically reduced. And then when you are going on the weekends, plug them back into the house, take these out with you, and you've got free power while you're camping as well. I've tried to be as honest and fair in this video as I can, and I've tried to represent both products equally. But if I had to spend my own money, there's no hesitation. I would definitely get the DJI Power Station over the Ecoflow Delta 2. Considering it's the same price, same battery capacity, the DJI just beats it in every way possible. I'll leave a link down below if you want to check this product out for yourself. If I've missed anything, guys, leave a comment down below. I'm happy to answer. If you've enjoyed the video, leave a like down below. It really helps. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing. I love getting out, making adventure videos and more product reviews just like this. But thanks for watching the video, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.